Welcome to Katy Calls BS, the podcast where we cut through the noise in course creation, digital products, and business strategy. I'm Katie Miller, bringing you blunt advice, real action steps, and the occasional F-bomb because building a business is hard and the BS isn't helping. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of Katy Calls BS. This week, we are going to talk about something that I am seeing a lot of. I hear a lot from my clients, and that is the belief that your clients need more access to you in order to get results. That's not true. I know we feel like this is our business, our knowledge, that we need to give our clients access to us in order for them to get that. And here's the part we don't talk about. Most business owners don't actually over-insert themselves because they're controlling or because they're power hungry. It's usually because we care. We love our customers, we love our clients, and we want to help them. We've been told that doing it all is what a good entrepreneur looks like, and that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to serve our clients like this because that is what a good entrepreneur does. But when you're smart, capable, and used to being the one that figures it out, you start believing that everything in your business has to go through you, and that's a problem. Because this is where the people pleasing sneaks in, which, shocking, a lot of us as business owners are people pleasers. We want our clients to feel supported. We don't want them to struggle. We don't want them to have it look like we're checking out of our business or checking out from them and how we can serve them. It also gets really tricky in times like right now with all the stuff going on, when what we see around us requires us to take a stand. It requires you to say something. And I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about this right now, but our people-pleasing business mindset holds us back from saying something. You have to remember that at the end of the day, your business is human. We have to remember that human connection, the human piece of it. You are representing your business and connecting with other humans. And I think we can easily get away with that when we start focusing on revenue goals and we start focusing on growth and scaling. We don't want our clients or potential clients to feel like we're checking out of anything. So you really have to think about whether your clients or whether we want our clients to feel supported in business and life and how we want them to feel supported. In business, we tend to over-onboard, over-explain, over-deliver, stay too available for our clients. I know we're all guilty of this. And suddenly your business is running on your nervous system instead of structure. You are heading towards burnout, and none of us want that. There's this quiet belief underneath all of this that if you are not involved in every aspect of your business, every little piece, every little client interaction, that the quality of your business drops. That belief makes us feel really responsible. It makes us feel very professional. But it's not always true. Sometimes it just means that we haven't figured out what our system is. We're still working on that foundation piece. And here's what I know from teaching. As I was thinking about this week's episode, I was thinking about my teaching days and how this all fits into it. But what I realized is that not every step in the process needs you to step in. Not every step needs the expert. Not every moment needs your approval. Not every question needs your voice. Your expertise matters most when there's judgment that is required, when you need to use direction and guide your clients. And that's an important piece of it in order for them to move along in your process. When decisions have consequences, that's where you belong. It's not when they're checking off boxes or in every email or in every hand-holding moment. That's not where you need it to be. It's kind of like in the classroom. A lot of times teachers will say, you need to check 3 before me. You need to check with a friend. You need to check with someone at your table, blah, blah, blah. Like, we don't need to be involved in every single phase. When we do this and we're trying to be involved in every little aspect of our business, we have our clients dependent on us. My goal has never been to make my clients dependent on me. It's to help them understand the thinking behind what they're building so that they can create it again without starting from scratch. Say with me, they're coming at a digital product down the road and saying, I know how to build this the right way. I know how to build this so that it's successful because I've learned the correct process. I know it works because I've done it this way before with an expert, with someone who understands what they're doing. That's the difference between giving someone a fish and teaching them how to fish. If your system only works when you're present, you didn't teach anyone anything. You just performed for them. You just showed off what you know, which is great, but that's a different thing than what we're talking about. It's exactly why access gets confused with value, because when the system isn't designed to stand on its own, you become the entire system. That's the BS we're calling out today. The BS is very clear that if you think that your clients only want access to you, that's not true. They don't want access just to you. They want access to what you can provide, the knowledge and value that you can provide. Access often gets mistaken for value because it feels personal, it feels premium, and it feels like caring. But proximity is not the product. Clients don't necessarily want you live. They want your expertise. They want what your expertise produces. Clients want outcomes from your expertise. They don't want just any result that they can find on the internet, because we know we have access to all of this information right now. They can go find most of it. What they want is results that are shaped by your thinking and your experience and your judgment. But that does not mean unlimited access to you. Your expertise can show up in how the experience is designed, how decisions are guided, how outcomes are supported in your process. It's not just live calls with you. And this is very often where people go wrong with digital products, is when they try to put too much of themselves live into the process. If you want to be successful with digital products, you're offering value in your experience and your design and the judgment process, and you're guiding people through that process without you having to do it live. That's kind of the whole point of automatic income and passive income. Where access is actually necessary and when it makes sense is when judgment matters. We need that. When decisions are contextual, when the risk is really high, when the client is early and unsure, that's when we need it. We're talking like strategy checkpoints, feedback moments, when they need direction and they need to have those conversations about the direction of their business. Those are the moments when they need the live interaction. And it's not an email back and forth. It's not a checklist, and it's not a resource library, because they're not going to find the answers in those things. Access to you should be intentional. It's not the default. Imagine if someone's asking where to find one tiny little thing within your business. That doesn't need to be a live moment. When it becomes a problem and we give more access than we should, I'm sure we're all guilty of this, me included. The over access comes from training a client to wait for you. When you say, okay, I need you to go do the XYZ, or I want you to go through this process, and then they stop. They're kind of in a holding pattern until you can get to them. It puts a lot of pressure on you. It's just training your client that they only wait for you ever. So when they move on within your business, they're only ever going to wait for you. That's slowing the progress down. It's creating this dependency on you. It's destroying your margin. It's a great way to burn out your business and yourself. When every little decision, every little step, every little checklist, every little checkpoint within your business is dependent on you, that's a problem. If clients can't move through your products or your services without you, your system doesn't work. The second part of this is saying, I can't step back from my business without hurting results. If you are thinking about a time when you want to step back or you want to take a vacation and the idea of that is terrifying, or if something happens, you have a family emergency and you can't work, and you are thinking about how you're going to handle that, we need to talk. Because this belief of I can't step back without hurting results keeps founders, business owners trapped. It sounds really responsible. Like, I'm in charge. I can't step back. I'm the boss. I'm very client-centered. I have to be involved. But it hides a bigger issue. And the bigger issue is if results collapse when you step back, your model is really fragile, because your business should be able to run without you. I know we want it to feel like it can't, because we are the whole business, we started it all, but it can. Most of it should be able to, besides your one-on-one clients. You should not be the gatekeeper of results within your business. Clients should not have to pay for more access to get better results from you. There are ways your clients can get really great results from you that don't require live and in person. Because what this does is create this inequity inside the same offers. If you have an offer for someone, or you have an offer for clients, and you say, hey, I love that you signed up for this, but in order to get the live access, or in order to get even more and better results, you have to pay more. We don't do that here because the confusion about what's included is not it for people. Especially now, people don't want that. They want very clear idea of what is involved in something and what is included. We also don't need the pressure to upsell instead of improving what we're actually giving people. How about we just do that part? How about you provide a good quality product instead of just trying to upsell more? How about that? Because your results should come from the system that you've created. It should not come from buying more access to you. Your clients can get really great results from your entire digital product side of your business. They can get really great results from that and never work with you live. They should be able to get really great results. If you are sitting there thinking, oh, I've done digital products, I have my one and done, you need to listen to past episodes because there are past episodes about that. But if you have done digital products well, and we've mapped out your infrastructure, we've mapped out how it all plays into your business, they should still get results because it's a solid system. It actually teaches something to someone. But it's not that I have provided this digital product. Yes, the goal is usually I want you to go into a one-on-one service with me, but if they don't, they've still gotten a result. And this goes into the difference between what a fragile and a durable business model is. Because what we're seeing is a lot of fragile models look like the founder or the business owner is the bottleneck. When everything is going through the founder or the business owner, then that's where we might have a whole bunch of clients, but when it all is stopping at the founder and the business owner, we have an issue. The progress is pausing without that live access. Oh, sorry, you can't move forward in this program until we have our live call, even though that person might be ready. That's not understanding your learners. The quality should not vary based on your unavailability either. This also plays into the growth. Because when you are trying to grow your business and you have a fragile business model, you're going to be exhausted because you're doing everything. You can't grow and scale when you are doing everything and you don't have the system set up. I'm sure systems people could talk about this all day long. But we're not necessarily talking just about the systems, but we're talking about where you are over inserting yourself in your business. If you have a more durable business model, it looks like the outcomes that people are getting are repeatable. The expertise that you're providing is embedded in the delivery of every product, every freebie, everything that you can provide your people. Your expertise is there. They aren't just downloading your free product and getting nothing. Because how many of us have done that? And it drives you crazy. Clients know what to do without waiting. When you have a durable model, they should be able to know what to do and what the next step is without asking you. They should be able to follow that pathway. It should be really clear for them to know what to do without waiting for you to respond to an email, without waiting for you to respond to a message, any of it. The access to you is going to enhance their results. It's not going to rescue them. It's going to enhance their results. How is it the improvement rather than now I'm scrambling because I have to rescue a client and I'm shifting my entire day because I have to rescue a client? It's also part of the expectations you have with clients. That's a whole boundary discussion that we've had before on the podcast too. But the most common places where founders are over inserting themselves is answering the same questions every single week. If you are getting on discovery calls, which I have feelings about those, but if you're just getting on discovery calls or getting on client calls and you are asking this or answering the same questions live every single week, that's an issue. That's a sign right there. If you are re-explaining processes instead of improving clarity, that's an issue. If you are jumping in to save confused clients or always creating tutorials for clients or custom cheat sheets or making sure that you send something or you're like a 24/7 helpline for your clients, that's a problem, a big one. If you're over customizing things for every single client instead of having a standard outcome for people, you are going to have a really hard time growing and scaling your business. Because as you grow your clients, you cannot customize for that many people. I'm pretty sure most of it is going to be standard outcomes. And then you have your few random weird things from the clients that it's a little bit more nuanced that you might need to customize. This is not being generous. When you are over customizing for people and you're jumping in to save them and you're doing all these things, it's not you being generous. You think you're being really nice for your clients. I'm serving my clients. I'm treating them so well. I love that for you. But this is poor design. This is poor design. I'm going to hold your hand when I say that. It's poor design. If you aren't sure what to protect or turn into a standard system, we're going to talk about that. So you want to protect your judgment. That's what people are paying for. People are ultimately paying for in your digital products, in your business, in all the things. They're protecting your judgment, like what you can bring to the table for them. The decision-making moments, the high impact feedback, the direction setting conversations. Those are the things that people are paying for you. So protect that part of it. But the things that you can turn into a system, the things that should be a standard system without customizing for every single client, because that's going to start coming when you work with the client. Before you ever get to, we're now working together, the onboarding, the common questions, the skill building steps, the progress tracking, the application guidance, all of that should be standard. And you can send me a message if you think it's not, because I'll tell you how you can make it standard. That's how you scale without lowering the quality within your business. I will never tell you to take the quality out of your business. It is always about the quality that you are giving people, not the quantity. If you think that you are giving everyone everything, that's giving them way too much. But I can guarantee you that you can streamline your onboarding, you can streamline the common questions you're getting, which can likely turn into a digital product. And you can streamline the progress tracking, all of it. You don't need to be checking in every single step of the way. That's such a waste of your time and your expertise. But before you are like freaking out on me and you're thinking, I don't know how I'm going to do this in my business, I want you to take a little audit of your business before you completely pull back and say, you know what, I've given too much. I realize I'm doing too much and I don't know how to pull back, or I'm too in the systems. Before you reduce access to you, ask yourself, where do your clients get stuck in the process of onboarding, of working with you, whatever it is? Where are they getting stuck? Is it the after we're done and they have questions? Where are they getting stuck? What questions are being repeated? What are you hearing a lot? You should be recording these things. Anyways, when you are working with clients, you're like, oh, I've heard this before. I answer this question all the time. This is something I get all the time. That's something that probably should be in your FAQs. What results rely on a live explanation? Because there are some things that do rely on you explaining it live, because maybe it is more nuanced. Maybe you do need to customize certain things, but I can guarantee you don't need to customize everything. What could be clearer up front? Because even as we grow and scale in our business, we have to change things in our systems. We have to be clear about what we're doing. We have to be clear in our contract. We have to be clear in what's involved. If stepping back from your business feels really scary and you're wondering how I'm going to step back, I have to be really involved, my clients are going to hate me, that's all data. It's not a failure. That's just data that you can use. Look at that and say, okay, this could be an issue. Let's look at one thing that I can change, where I am not the person that they have to go through. They can go through this whole system until we get to the part that requires customization, that requires the feedback. That's when they can talk to me. This is exactly what the infrastructure audit looks at. It's not how do I remove myself from my business, because you're not going to do that completely. It's where am I over inserted? Where is delivery unclear? Where should expertise live instead of access? The goal, like I said before, is never less care for your clients. It's better. You are trying to give better outcomes to more people. The only way that you can give better outcomes to more people is by limiting the access to you live. It's not limiting the value. It's limiting access. You have to be careful about where you can turn that value into a digital product, because there are things that when you audit your business, like I mentioned earlier, those are things that you can look at and say, maybe I should redo that system. Maybe I should look at that system and talk to a systems person. But if we're looking at your business overall and you're thinking, how do I give someone better outcomes without taking away all the access and like still giving value. This is what we look at in the infrastructure audit. We look at where you're doing too much, where the delivery is unclear, where should your digital products do more work, and you should probably not be doing that work, but they can still get value out of a digital product or a digital product whole structure outside of your business instead of the access of you doing every single little thing. Like I said, the goal is not less care. It's better outcomes without burning your business down and wanting to cry in a corner. Access is not the value. It's your expertise. That's what people want. It's not just when they talk to you that they feel like they're getting the value. It's what you bring to the table. The goal of your business was most likely never to be all up in it forever. My guess was to build a business that could run smoothly without you, or without you being hands-on all the time, that you could take a break from without being like, I'm taking a break and I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks or whatever it is. A business that can run without you and you can still make money. That's what automatic income and passive income is anyway. It's money coming in while you're not actively working. If you want that to happen, you have to look at what can do that for you. If your business can't produce results without you constantly present, you're going to run into issues with burnout, resentment, scaling, trading your time for money. You're going to run out of time. You're going to run out of time for clients. Your systems are going to explode. They're going to just give up. It's not a good situation. So you need to fix the delivery. You need to fix how you're giving your value to people. And that looks like what is going to be one-on-one, what is going to be the live access, and what is going to be a digital product where people are still getting value. You're protecting your outcomes, and then you can decide what actually works, what is important, because it's not going to be taking away the quality of what you do. It's not taking away the care for your clients. It's figuring out what makes sense so that your business can continue to run without you live. Not your expertise, not your value, but without you sitting in front of your computer or talking to your clients live all day, every day. Think about what your goal was. Was your goal to do that? Was your goal to take on more clients, max out your day, and try and squeeze in this, that, and the other after your day has ended? I'm guessing not. So at that point, you need to look at these things and audit your business. I hope you have a great day. See you next time. If this episode hit home, your next step isn't to build anything. It's to audit what you already have. I offer a paid infrastructure audit where I review your current offers, delivery load, and where your business is relying too heavily on you. You'll get a clear decision doc and a Loom walkthrough outlining what actually makes sense next. The link is in the show notes.